I was about to say good morning, but good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of State of Mind, where today we have Luke Burrell from INXX.HUB up in Newcastle, who we visited probably over 6 months ago now. We
It's
did
been
drop
six
into
months.
Been that long? I don't know.
probably, but we went and checked out your space, and it was had a lot of it was a great space with different interesting features with different I guess you had different businesses in different areas work like they were just working together, but it was everywhere you looked was something new and something different. And yeah, just wanted to get you on today to talk a bit about that space. And I know you've got another space, we'll get into it. But Luke, can you give us a bit of a backstory into INXX.HUB, how it came about and where it is?
Yeah, we've always had the idea of wanting to work with people like us and people we liked. It's an idea that goes back decades, and it finally came about when we actually we physically needed more space, and we're like, oh, well, we're looking around, and we're like, well, this could be the opportunity to you know, do that thing that we've been dreaming about for a long time. Because all the spaces we looked at were like, they weren't bigger, they were far too big. So might as well share it with the people we love. So that's how it came about. So yeah, we had offices on Hunter Street, the main street of Newcastle, and the new co-working space INXX is in Parry Street, like 2 blocks away from where our original office was. And yeah, it came about like that. It was sort of a bit of a wild start. We just do things without thinking too much. And we had an event. There was a group. Sorry, it goes back about 8, 9 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. So I can't quite remember all the details. But there was an event being run in Newcastle. It was like a monthly event. I can't even remember the name of it. And we had the keys to this building because we knew the people 2 doors down who were also doing something, and they had the keys to park their cars. And we're like, let's put on an event in this space. I probably shouldn't tell this story out loud. So the owners didn't know, the owners didn't know that we were
They're not
running
listening.
this event in their space, but we're like, we wanted to cast the vision to a group of people, and because co-working wasn't a real big thing back then, and at best it was like serviced offices. So we had an idea, we'd made up a thing in our head, we put on this event and invited people to come have a look, and we cast a vision, we had some drawings and ideas, and just to get feedback from people, and people loved it. And so the rest is history. We rented the building for a year while we did the fit out, and then we purchased the building, and made it all happen from there. But it was a bit. I wouldn't say it was spontaneous, but there was a lot of spontaneity. Build the hang glider as you dive off the cliff, sort of business. So
So which one came first? Was it Hunter or Perry?
well, Hunter Street was our so Mezzanine is a branding agency that I operate. So that our offices were on Hunter Street. Yeah, and we needed more space. So then Parry Street happened. So then and then we went reversed, Inks Hunter Street. So yeah, we have the two locations now. So and we make up 5% of the space. So we're not a big player in the space. Yeah. So yeah, Hunter Street. Yeah, we open. It's a totally different thing. It's like two very different spaces. Hunter Street's in an old heritage bank building, big old sandstone building. We pretty much just painted the whole thing white. It has a bit more of a I don't know what the right word is, fancy feel to it. Whereas Parry Street's in an old warehouse. It's very raw, and it's concrete and old timber beams and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, two very different things.
Yeah, Parry Street was the one that we visited.
You went to Parry Street, yeah.
Went to Parry Street, yeah.
It's the big one, yeah. So it's about 1,500 square meters, and Yeah, we'd never been to a co-working space before. I've been to plenty since, but we'd never been to one before, so we didn't know the proper way of doing a co-working space, and we just did a thing.
I think
There is
Australia's
no proper
very
way.
cast the
very
vision.
different from a lot of other ones we've been to. It's got little spaces in it. Geez, it must be a third of the building is just common space, like space to move around in and for events, and just nothing space, which makes it really unique and nice. I find a lot of other co-working spaces just like how many desks can we fit in sort of thing, which would make a really good business case. But we went for the experience. What we want to build community and people to connect, and so where there's sort of like all these mini spaces within it we've built that are like little mini co-working within the bigger co-working, and we try and match people up, like people that are like their businesses complement each other, or they're just more outrageous, we put them in room 4. The noisy ones go in room 2. No, there's no plan like that. So that we put people together, and we've got a big giant lunch bench, like a 10-meter long lunch bench, that to help things that facilitate community and connection, and really celebrate relationships. That's really important to us.
The interesting, as soon as we walked into Perry Street, was the shipping container that hits
Oh yeah,
hits you as you walk in.
yeah.
Tell us the backstory around that shipping container,
The
because
container.
you also do recycling, right? You recycle a lot of different things too,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
The,
I
the
love that
container.
idea.
I know it was probably the only idea that didn't change from the start of the project till the end of the project. Everything else changed multiple times. We just were always fixed on, hey, container would be a cool idea. And I guess once it was there, it's not the sort of thing you can move easily. But yeah, so right as soon as you walk in, there's this container within the warehouse that we've split down the middle long ways, and pulled apart, and then it's got this clear sort of roof that connects it, because containers are just too small, so we had to make it bigger and allow space in it. It sort of divides that space up as well, so we use it as a wall as well as as an office within it. So yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
No, it looks great, because it's as soon as you walk in, and then as you walk in, you've split it in half, and the way that you split it, you've expanded it and made it a big sort of closed off area that people can actually work in. So it's
Bit of
quite
fun.
great in design, and you've recycled something. So recycling's a quite an important thing at the moment, where
Yeah,
we're reusing things.
yeah, we tried to recycle as much as we could. So you can't recycle everything. Using secondhand gyprock wouldn't be fun. Um, But a lot of the building, we've used some really interesting materials that some of them I regret because they were difficult to work with. But we did all the rooms at the back of the building are built with this product called Styrocon. There's concrete and styrofoam mixed together, and we built these
Interesting.
walls out of it, and that's really cool, but very difficult to work with. And yeah, we recycled a lot during the process as well, and it's incredible. It's only the 1,500 square meters, but the amount of waste from building, like, it's just absolutely incredible. And it's not even a big project. I'd hate to think, what these big projects produce, big buildings. But yeah, we recycled everything. I was always running around and collecting all the metal and all the copper and anything we could recycle. And, we're doing trips out and getting rid of it like that. But yeah, lots of fun.
You said
Bringing back
before,
the
you said before about relationships was really important. How there's a lot of you have a lot of focus there on community. I mean, you said you put people together that how they respect each other's business and work together. But
They fit together,
um,
yeah.
yeah, how important is community?
Oh, very. It'd be number one. It's the one thing I care about. If it was about money, we would just fill the place with desks. But we want to make space for people, and we've had all sorts of feedback from people, that find, from to the point of we find safety in the building. Like, they find that it's a place to go and be with like-minded people to, have big ideas or crazy ideas, or throw things around, bounce things around, and just feel like they're in their
Element.
in their element, in their world,
Yeah.
like a fish would feel safe in the river. So it's like that sense of, it really is a sense of community. It's not just, people doing business, but their friends, their family. We have like family nights, not family in terms of, bring the kids and wife, husband, whatever, although you could, but families in the INXX family. And we put on, a big thing of spaghetti bolognese and crack a few bottles of wine, and just they are friendships, and we're still connected with the people who were there from day one, who have moved on. We're still connected with them, and we're hoping to put on an alumni night sometime this year or maybe next year, to bring back all the people who have been part of it since the beginning. Community, very important. So we're doing a lot more. We actually employ someone specifically to invest into community, like what are things that we can do, and organizing everything from like drinks on Friday Arvo, to opportunities for people to share about what their business does, and connect with other people. But fruit on the lunch bench, it's all little things, it's big things, it's anything that's going to connect people. And because we're born to be in connection with one another, and we're born to be in community. No one's an island, no man is an island, as they say. So anything we can do to help encourage that human connection. And I think even more so now that the world's gone very digital, which is amazing, we crave that human connection, and those real experiences with real people, and going beyond just business but relational, what's going on in your life, sort of thing. So no, it's number one.
Bringing it back to that human connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just hanging out. So can people can people just drop in and check out the space, or can they run an event? How can people find you guys?
They can drop in. They can run an event. Jump onto our website, INNX.com.au. You can book a tour if you wanted to come in and have a tour. There's some event spaces there as well, meeting spaces, a few different things there. So if you're looking for a place to work or a place to run an event, jump in there.
Go and check it out.
That sounds like there's no steak knives.
Throw them in. Why not? You got fruit bowls. Throw in some fruit
bowls. Yeah, that's right.
I remember being there, and we got the tour from Jess, and she was taking us through the space. And I don't know if we can reveal it, but up the back, she took us into this room that was a real funky room. Can we talk about it, or do people?
Which one? I'm not sure which one you're referring. There's a lot of funky rooms. That not up on the mezzanine, or do you mean the theatre?
No, it was down at
the theatre. Yes.
Okay.
That was actually one of the main reasons why we needed to move. So we've got a big theatre. So it's a Hoyt's came and set it up. So it's a full Hoyt's grade cinema. A part of my brother and I, we have a business called Final Post, which is post-production for film and television. And so he color grades films, and so he set up this theatre so he could grade films for Hoyts and the like. It's a full theatre there. We are hopefully in the next 12 months repurposing it to make it more available for other things. People can come be part of that as well. But at the moment, it's sort of permanent as a color grading suite.
Yeah, I don't think she couldn't get rid of us once she got
that. When we first opened, when we first built it, I think we were there like every second weekend watching movies and things like that. But that's slowed down a bit since then. It is a cool space.
It was very something different. It was great to see.
A bit unexpected.
But one other thing too is I never actually asked INNX. What's the meaning behind that?
Yeah. The domain name was free, so that was the most important thing. But it actually is short for Innovation Exchange.
Oh, wow. Okay.
but I hadn't thought about it. A lot of people think it's INKS, and so that was a bit of a bad thing. But anyway, it means innovation exchange. So the idea of people getting together and exchanging, ideas and innovation.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it. Nothing more to it. And the domain name's free. Well, we wanted something short, something a bit different, something interesting, and it ticks all those boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
I don't know whether to say
the story behind
inks
the
or
name.
INNX.
INX. Yeah, some people
INX.
say INX.
Inks or inks.
Or INX. It's just inks, but say whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Sandra. You got any other questions before we wrap this
No,
up?
that's really good. I like that. We talked about the community, which is what we're all about, and building a community. And you've got a well-developed community, and kudos to how you've developed and built that, because it's very different to all the other workspaces. It's a real standout for me, because I see all the other workspaces. They're all clinical. They're very similar to all the other workspaces, but yours actually stands out compared to a lot of the workspaces out there.
Yeah, it was a great mistake.
Serendipity. So
yeah,
it works out well, and we'd like to come to one of these Fridays one time, because I remember Jess even mentioning that day. Oh, Luke hardly comes here these days. He only comes on Fridays, and I'm like, what?
I know. Yeah, well, I was in there permanently up until the end of last year. So we've moved up the coast. So I come back every week or so to, check in on things. But yeah, it's a shame. I built this space. I don't get to work in it anymore, but the business still operates there. And yeah, a lot of friends there.
You developed a good community, so that they're all working under what your own vision, and there's I'm sure there's what's the plans for the future.
Well, lots of ideas. There's never short of ideas, but short term this weekend actually we've got a big street party with the other locals around in the street opposite us, pretty much. And we've got Deems back. So Deems is a street artist who painted the front of the building 8 years ago, and it's quite weathered, so it's had its day. So we've got Deems back again this weekend, and we're having a big street party and repainting the front of the building, which is really exciting. This time we're going to go right across the whole front, which is super cool. So that's a very short-term functional thing, but long-term, yeah, we really want to tap into. We've got some ideas around like the not-for-profit social enterprise sort of space and how we can invest. And we've got a few of those businesses within our space that we've just made available at no cost, and we want to make that more of an official program that they can come and be part of. If there's startups in that space as well, that they could learn something from the more established businesses around them. So that's something we're exploring. Oh man, I can't think of all the other ideas, but we've got a giant, big, long list of them. But that's the one that excites me the most, because it's like, how can we invest into our community and into people who are doing, other things out there, other great things, and help, propel them.
Help give back.
Yeah, for
give
sure.
back to community and rebuild it, and there's going to be a big need for that with current conditions. So it's good.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming to State of Mind. It's great to have you on here and just talk about INXX.HUBs and what it's all about. Now we know that it's innovation exchange.
No one knows that or calls it that, by the way. Just
I know now.
We know now. We'll tell everyone.
That's just where the name came from, but it's not the official name, so it's all good. Just INX or INX is good.
But if anyone is on up in Newcastle this weekend, go to Parry Street. There'll be a big party on. What day is it?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh wow!
Yeah, right.
It's a weekend party. Jeez. Yeah. It's an all weekend party.
Yep.
Keeps on going.
It should be fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Luke.
No, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Luke.
We'll talk to you
soon. Until next time. Like, follow, share.
See you later all.